awareness of what's going on, and they don't always know to look in the chat window, which actually fades out if you're not looking at it.
Yeah, well,
so,
James Olin was very articulate when he said that for people that are new to MMO gameplay, they're not used to looking at a chat box, in whether it's in your top left or bottom left corner, and maybe they're used to playing single player games from BioWare and all this other stuff, and they're used to looking just at the screen at what's going on, and he's very understanding of the chat bubble discussion.
So
but he didn't give any promises, but he's aware of the needs of the player.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about chat bubbles is that at PAX East, when I played the Origin Worlds, chat bubbles were there. But that was back in March.
Well, yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, they've obviously looked at this before and tried to implement this before.
A better question would be, who here actually would use chat bubbles after you're used to playing, in a typical MMO?
I mean, think about like 100.
Wasn't that question from like an RP site?
Well, I mean,
actually, no, it was from the RP guy.
Right. So there you are.
So who would use them?
They would,
But I think it would be good to have it toggleable.
Well, toggleable. There's an L in there. Toggleable.
It'd be good.
You guys sound like Murloc.
But have a setting you can tag.
Well, I know in World of Warcraft there's a toggle option to have.
Toggleable?
You can have chat bubbles, chat panes on your screen, and you don't. Well, I mean, how many people here actually use that? I mean, there's a definite group of people that actually utilize that, because it's fantastic when you're having, an RP event where you have a lot of people meeting together, and you kind of videotape it and show off the pop-up, stuff like that.
Or you're talking to a stranger for the first time. Because they might not be reading general chat, but if they see a chat above your head and they see that they're talking to you.
More personal.
Or if it's put in general chat, it's spam.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
you actually see a physical 3D representation.
I mean, when we're at live, there's going to be at least 15,000, guilds trying to promote.
Well, but that brings another discussion where you have that on by default, so you constantly see that, because maybe the average, maybe not the average gamer, but the more veteran gamer is going to want to turn that off, because they're used to looking at that chat screen and used to filtering out, I want to have a chat screen that just has all local chat, and I have another screen that has all general, universal chat. But the new player doesn't know how to configure his screen, how to do that. Chat bubbles, a fantastic tool to, be able to communicate in a local.
Right, and I don't see chat bubbles being used for the equivalent of the say command.
Right.
You're not going to think popping up for
constantly all over the place.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I just jumped in the conversation. What else?
What else?
What do you guys think? Here goes a question from Comstrike. Can BioWare possibly sustain enough story to actually fill a year? How fast does that content go? And obviously, we don't know what their development cycle is or their writing story level.
We got hints.
But I mean, what do you guys think relative to what you know?
I will say that there's a huge writing staff still on board.
We saw the writing staff today.
Yeah.
But the major hint was publicly put out. Daniel Anderson, I think, tweeted, or somebody tweeted out that they hit a major milestone with post-release content with the writing staff.
I think that might be James Olin that tweeted that.
I don't know who. I mean, I know either Stephen Reed or the official ScoreTour Twitter account tweeted out, writing staff meets major milestone of post-release content. So you know what? They're already working at it. They already hit major milestones, so they're already ready. And I think part of that tweet was we're going to keep Hollywood voice actors employed for another year or something like that.
I think it's pretty awesome. Hollywood employed for a year.
I think if you
go ahead,
if you think of the rate at how fast they can write story content and produce it, I know that, or we all know that Tor has an insane amount of story content.
Wait, it has story?
I don't know. That's what I hear. But and if you think of the fact that and I don't know what like sustain for a year means, but if you think that like a Mass Effect game runs around like 30 to 40 hours, and those take around like 2 years to produce, give or take. I guess less if you have the tool set like from Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2.
Right.
And Star Wars is supposed to be like every class is supposed to be like a full single player game. So it's launching with the content of like 7 single player games, and maybe you can run through that in a month if you're crazy. So sustain from that level, it's going to be huge. There's tons and tons of story content.
Well, you have to realize that the average person's not running through all that. I mean, like they're saying, okay, you're a crazy person. You game so much that you're going to run through it in like a month.
Run 8,
But the average person's really only playing 15 to 20 hours a week, maybe 10 hours a week. And the average gamer, not the average player, but the average gamer is going to be playing 10 to 15 hours a week. They're not going to run through all that content, and that gives them a nice 6 months or
And we're talking about longer. When they said depending on how you play it, there's up to 200 hours per.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you follow all the stories, I mean, there's a fantastic amount of content there.
I also wondered, the person asking a question, were they talking specifically about overall, like all the stories in the game with all the classes combined, or just if you play your one character and you just focus on that, will you have enough story to last for a year? And if that's the case, I don't see that.
No. I mean, if you're playing one class storyline all the way through,
you have to play other classes, and you're
But
going to
I mean, I think the Elder game is perpetual, though. I mean,
it's the typical MMO Elder game.
Operations. They'll continue to add operations. They'll continue to add.
You're not going to have story content for one character that's going to last you a year.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
One of the questions we did ask in the Q&A that we can talk about, when I was asking him, with each edition that we expect to see, I don't know how often they're going to push them out, but I said, will story be something we can expect, additional story be something we can expect as a standard for pretty much everything you push out as an edition? And they pretty much said, yeah, absolutely.
What is our standard in the MMO atmosphere right now? It's essentially Blizzard. And how often they put out new content? Every 8 months to a year?
I think that's going to be really interesting to see.
Major updates anyway, content updates?
I think major updates, expansions,
and that was the classic, like, this is what the industry standard is. Blizzard puts out something every 8 months, or new raid zone, new daily quest hub, or whatever. And then Tryon came along, and they put out content every 50 days, major game updates. So now it's kind of like, okay, well, Blizzard said this is the best they can do, and all of a sudden here's another game company that says, hey, look, we can do this in 50 days, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. So now here comes Tor, and they know what people are now learning to expect, or at least if somebody can do it, you can do it too.
I mean, they're not going to be able to do the type of content that like the class quests are in 50 days.
I mean, we didn't get any solid answers today, but I
can guarantee you they cannot. Because you need writers, you need the actors to like do all the dialogue.
I think they're writing right now already.
They already said they have like over 900 actors.
I think we're going to be incredibly surprised at how often content updates come with this game. That's just. This is based on no information. That's just based on like talking to a couple people and like perception of what they're doing. Unless they're just blowing smoke up my butt the whole time when they're talking this, I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff. And I think and that's what they should expect when they come out with an MMO from continuing.
Well, I mean, it is their job to be very confident about their product.
Sure,
I will say that. But I do have the same sort of feeling that this isn't a game that is going to come out and then die off. I mean,
no.
Well, what I think is going to be really interesting to see is we've got all of our class story, but then once they start releasing post-game content, like, what is that going to look like? And I have a hard time seeing them release a bunch of content for each specific class at that point, because that's going to be...
It would be more general,
Yeah, I think it'll be more general content. We've got this arc now that's starting after the game.
If I had to guess and prognosticate like what we're going to see is you have all these class stories, and they all come together when you start doing the operations and all this other stuff, and everything's going to come together to have a focal point of the story, right? So they're going to release more content. Now it's going to be the story is no longer going to be 8 advanced classes coming together, whatever. It's now going to be Imperial and Republic storylines continuing on throughout the first launch period, and then once the expansion hits, that's when they start continuing the class story again.
Yeah, or adding on to
they're gonna develop the classes further on, but in between, I guess, expansions, you're gonna just see faction storylines progress.
Right. I seem to remember, wasn't there an interview with one of the doctors, and they said they understood that people expect expansions, and I want to say 18 months was what he said. So, and they said they're kind of going in that. but yeah, maybe since that interview, the expectations scaled back.
Are about like every 2 years you want to.
I mean, I'm sure they're planning that, but right now they're just more worried about getting this game out and seeing what the sales are going to be.
That's typical of any game right now.
Yeah.
I think BioWare is pretty smart with their metrics and say, okay, we have. Just throw out a number here because we don't know the official number. 100 pre-orders. 1 million pre-orders. You know. 1.5 million. Like, I mean, we have amazing metrics right now with their pre-order numbers, and we can kind of slightly calculate, you know, the brick and mortar pre-orders and stuff like that, but we have no idea what's going on in the digital world with people digitally, you know, pre-ordering through Origin or through any other, you know, venue. We have no idea how many people are doing that. Because a lot of people say, I'm going to pre-order through Origin just to get a code, put it in there so they can get pre-release content, and you're like, that doesn't get recorded.
And you know what was really interesting is just talking to everybody, you know, whether it be a forum moderator or a, you know, live producer like Blaine Christine, or even, you know, a community manager like David Bass or Stephen Reed, they always, you know, whenever I have a question about some obscure type of metric or some obscure type of, you know, thing that is on my mind, they always say, oh yeah, well, we have like at least one guy just working on that, just focusing on this. And so, I mean, like, a lot of different things, they have a lot of people thinking about it, like think tanks, just churning out ideas. And, I mean, they also showed...
Any smart game company has that.
And they also showed their connections to, you know, like Galway, Ireland, their BioWare, they had, like, a live stream right there. And so, I mean, like, they communicate. What?
Right. I don't think we're allowed to talk about that portion of the tour.
Oh, okay. Are we?
I had a bunch of pictures to say, nope, can't show those.
Oh, well.
You know,
whatever. All right.
So, I do think...
We have another question.
Yeah, moving right along. First of all, I'm not on the camera.
This is
very angry. My pretty face is on the camera.
This is something somewhat...
That's
I'm moving right now like this.
This is flag. This is like 8
Oh, okay, never mind. My pretty face is on.
Okay, so great. So Illendale has a question, and we'll start with Jason.
Random guy who joined the
random stone. We'll start with Jason. We'll go counterclockwise. What's the class that you were planning to play, and now after having a chance to play, that you're either still planning to play, or maybe you've changed your mind and you plan on playing something else?
Or do you want the long story or the short story?
Short. The short story.
Okay. I fell in love with the Imperial Agent. I since changed, and I'm now looking at the Jedi Counselor.
You're switching factions.
Well,
you're traitor.
Well, no, because the group of people that I originally wanted to play with, they were all Imperial, and then all of a sudden on Facebook, like, all right, we're Republic now. I'm like, okay, well then I'll switch. And I've been playing a melee-based class for God knows how long right now. Now a year down with Rift, playing that hardcore. And like, I want to heal. I want to do something different. So Sage looks kind of, you know, badass. So going with that. And how do you turn down a Jedi with lightsaber? So first guy should have a lightsaber in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, whatever. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, very cool. Barspawn?
All right. Originally, I had planned on playing Smuggler and going the Gunslinger route with it. After, however, having gotten my hands on the game and gotten to play a lot of it, what I'm now probably going to do at launch as far as my first character, my main character, will be a Smuggler Gunslinger.
So about the nut kicking CC.
So in other words, no, it hasn't changed my mind at all. It's solidified that's exactly what I want to do, and you know, path I want to follow. I love the lines, I love the snarkiness of the character and everything else. Although, really, I could stand for it to even be more snarky.
I love the spoiler dialogue. That's